Blessings. Blessings to everyone tonight. I hope everyone is well and staying safe. We have a guest tonight, and I'm so excited. So, first of all, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in and being a part of our live tonight. Our live tonight is going to be about detoxing and juicing and vegan lifestyle per se. A lot of us are home right now. We're home more than we would usually be. And so this is a great time, this is a great time to, start that exercise regime that you've always wanted to start. A great time to start learning different types of foods to cook that might be more beneficial to your body. Detoxing, just creating a new lifestyle that is not just meaningful, but is healing and creates a healthy body, so that you can be the best version of yourself. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. For me personally, before we get our guest on, I really did a lot of juicing and a lot of vegan foods and those types of things for a while, and my body loved it. My body responded really, really, really well. And I would say in the last year, I have been eating all kinds of madness. And I can see it in my body. I can feel it in my body. And so I myself have started a exercise routine. I have also started a detoxing routine and changing my diet some, because having all this meat in my body for the last year has really slowed down my metabolism, and it hasn't changed my periods, thank God. But if I continue, I know that my periods will become painful and unbearable, and I will hate my period. And right now I love my 2-day period. So with that being said, I've kind of just like tried to switch it up a little bit so that I can start this journey, this new journey of mine, with not just losing weight, but being healthy and feeling good and feeling light and feeling energized, and creating all these different goals for myself when it comes to health and fitness, which I'm excited to conquer. So that's kind of what I am going through. And as I go through it, I'm definitely going to be like taking pictures of different things and foods and stuff that I'm making, show you guys some recipes. I actually made like 4 juices today, 4 juices. It is not cold pressed, which I think cold pressed is amazing, and of course much better for you than just blending up juices. But I made a fruit punch today, and I'm sipping on it right now. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I am very anal about banana. I don't like it. I'm very anal about melon. I don't like it. I used to like it, but after I got pregnant, it kind of like shifts completely. And so I don't love those fruits anymore. So I do a lot like of pineapple and mangoes and pawpaw and oti apple and those types of things. So that's my journey. I have not seen our guests come in yet. So I am just going to look and see if anybody had asked any questions or anything before. Really a 2-day period? Wow, yes. So I really want a 1-day period, and my goal is a 1-day period. But as of right now, it's 2 days, and I'm happy with that. I'm quite comfortable. I don't spend a lot of money on tampons, and I don't spend a lot of money on pads. I mean, a pack of pads, the Cherish pads that I use have 10 in them, and I use like 2. So 1 pack lasts me for a few months. So financially, it works out great too. We always want our period to be shorter. The shorter, the better. Unless it is that you're going through like menopause or something like that, then that's a completely different thing. But if your period can be 3 days or less with no clots and no pain and none of that, then you're going on with something. It's working out for you. So if you guys need help with that, of course, please let me know. Please let me know. I used to hate melon. I'm guessing she's saying now I love it. Yeah, I loved melon. Melon was like refreshing. It was just so good. And then I got pregnant with my daughter. And she took melon completely away from me. Like, as I got pregnant, I couldn't even cut melon. Like, I couldn't even cut the melon to even give them to eat when I was pregnant. Because just looking at the melon would just, like, make my skin crawl. I would be so disgusted by it. It's not as bad as it once was. It's coming around. I mean, it is 8 years later. So it's coming around now where I'm not disgusted by it, but I don't want it. Like, there are way too many other fruits out there for me to have to put myself through that. You don't like pawpaw? Well, there you go. You see, everybody has their thing. I like pawpaw. Pawpaw is not necessarily something that I would eat by itself, just eat it on a regular basis, but I will always throw it in a smoothie. Always. My cycle change every minute. Every minute. Well, if your cycle is changing every month, we know that there are some hormonal issues. So you definitely want to make sure that you are balancing your hormones, okay? Because there should be some kind of pattern. It doesn't have to be the exact thing every month, but there should be some kind of pattern. My fruit intake has gone up and my lady friend is so happy. Yes, of course your lady friend is going to be happy. You can't overdose on fruits, okay? A bowl of fruits can be a meal. Don't let anyone fool you. Don't think that you have to have a piece of chicken and you have to have a piece of protein and you have to have a piece of this in there for it to be a complete meal. A salad can be a complete meal. Fruit salad can be a complete meal. You can eat 2 mangoes and you can feel full. Okay, that's possible. How do you get to have a 2-day period? Okay, so a 2-day period really, I've done so much work on myself in terms of trying to heal myself. I've done detoxes and stuff like that to help the process, to speed up the process. But I've also done a lot of things, like a lot of different herbs, like red raspberry, red clover. I do that on a daily basis. I drink a womb tea that Cosmic Woman makes, and it definitely balances out my hormones or maintains the balance of my hormones. I also exercise. I do some magnesium. I use natural pads. So I find that even with that, you bleed less when you use natural pads. It definitely cuts down at least 2 days if you were to use natural pads and not use the ones with the chlorine bleach and the pesticides and the plastic and the fragrance and all those other things. All right, so our guest is on now. So she just needs to request and we can get this show started. I'm waiting on you, Danielle. My period is 3 days, no pain but bloating. Oh my God. And breast tenderness. Okay, so if you're still having bloating, we can definitely do something about that, because you shouldn't bloat. Your period is supposed to be easy and breezy, guys. Easy and breezy. So if you're having bloating, then we want to do something about that. And a lot of times, like, chamomile helps a lot with bloating. That is actually in our womb tea also. So you can try chamomile and see. Don't get the tea bag version. Get the loose herb, real chamomile. It's not dried out, where there is absolutely no potency left, or it's not dry and old. Okay, it's going to be dried, but we don't want it to be old. And I find that when we do a lot of tea bags, it's old herbs, you know. My period is 4 days max. How can I get it down to 2 days? Okay, so you're going to stop eating meat during your period. You're going to change your pads. You are going to drink some red raspberry tea. And then let me know. Let me know how that goes, because that should be good enough. For me, I exercise a lot and eat healthy, and that helps with pain reduction. Yes, it does. And what also helps with pain reduction is magnesium. Magnesium is amazing for pain and balancing the hormones with painful periods. Pawpaw is a very good fruit, great in estrogen content, a womb fruit. I learned I have endometriosis and really want children. Well, you can probably still have children even though you have endo. That's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. We can do something about that. Send me a DM and let's see if we can work that out. Hi, beautiful.
Hey, gorgeous. Good night, everyone.
How are you, honey?
I'm good. I was here like clicking requests, but I'm like, the questions are so juicy. Like, let it roll. Let it roll.
I am so glad that we are finally doing this. You don't even know how excited I am.
Oh my gosh. Nothing before it's time. Nothing.
I agree. The universe is in control.
I'm telling you, right after the new moon, I'm just
right, because it's still kind of lingering right now, so it's a good time.
Indeed,
it's a really good time. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Because I think my clients can learn so much from you. From just your lifestyle, from of course what you do, in terms of how you pay the bills and that kind of thing with, your company. I think that they can all learn something. So I have a few questions that I'm going to run down with you so they can have a better understanding of what is what. Because we'll sit here and we'll just talk and talk and talk. Okay, so guys, everybody, I met Danielle probably about 2 years ago, and I literally saw her on Instagram, and I just called her phone. And I'm sure she was like, "Who is this crazy lady calling my phone? I don't know you."
I was like, yes, this is my track.
I was so excited with what you were doing, because I find that a lot of people in Jamaica especially have no idea really what juicing and detoxing and all of that is. So I want you to go through all of that for me. But the first thing I want you to talk about really is like your journey. Like a lot of times we get into these things because of things we've been through. Okay, like I know that's me and I know that's you as well.
Definitely.
So tell us how you got to this place where now you're changing lives with, healthy stuff.
Well, let me see, Ramona, it's been a journey, and I think it's perfect that we're doing this today, because this is day one period and I didn't even know. I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay, there we go.
There she is.
There she is. And that's one of the things that were going wrong for me, quote unquote wrong. I wasn't listening to my body. My lifestyle was very, very different. I wasn't active. I was stressed with school, stressed with, just life in general. I was eating at the time a diet of meat, dairy, eggs excessively. And it was pre-gym days. And I thought it was normal to have a 2-week period. I thought that was normal. I was like, everybody has clots and 2 weeks worth of period and cramps, and you can't function for 3 days. And it's just a dramatic thing. It was something that was in my family. And so that's one of the things I thought was normal. I thought having migraines were normal. I thought sinusitis was normal. I thought head to toe acne was normal. Like, it was just one of those things that you're just unfortunate and you have this thing, you know. Damn life. And then I was graduated at last, and I thought, all right, no, I'm going to have time. I'm going to focus on me. No more 2 a.m. Burger King. I'm going to sort myself out in the country. And I was living on medication. And every time I'd go to another specialist, another doctor, gynae, everybody, and nothing was working. The only thing that worked were painkillers and antibiotics and steroids. And I was like, I can't live like this anymore. Like, I can't go anywhere without a big bag of pills, and my antibiotics have to be with me. That's no way to live. And I decided, all right, so many things each specialist was telling me I couldn't have. I was like, I'm left with water. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go toss out everything and just go back to fruits. So I just cut everything out, and I'm like, I'm juicing, I'm eating fruits, I'm drinking water, and I don't want to hear anything else about anything else, because this is where I was when I was really young, and I had stopped living at the doctor at that time. So, yes, girl, 2 a.m. Burger King, architecture school. The only place open at that time close by, UTech. So, yeah, and I decided to give that a go. And I started really listening to my body. Instead of saying, why am I born a woman? Why is it every month I go through more pain than not? I said, you know what? I'm going to draw some breaks on this. I'm going to go back to nature. I'm going to just eat the raw food, the live fruits, get back in touch. And would you know it? Soon, my period stopped being as painful at that time. My skin started to clear up. I mean, flare-ups on and off for sure. And I realized my body was feeling better as off the steroids, as off the antibiotics. Who is this person? Like, is this normal? I didn't know what it felt like to be, you know, living a life without the crutch of medication. So, yeah, I mean, every day you want fast food because your body's addicted and you're craving things. And that's where I was. So I had to break the craving, nip it in the bud, and just go cold turkey. And that was not sustainable. So I was able to cut meat out for a period, saw great results, and I decided, all right, let me take it a little step further and try to make it a lifestyle, not just a quick fix. Like, actually transition properly, because if you don't transition properly, you end up going back on other types of food. Either, okay, I'm in the gym now, I'm training, I can't enter a competition because I did a few competitions. I was like, I need meat. You know, the research just wasn't as available to me as it is now, which is one of the reasons on this journey why I share so much. What I look like, what I eat, how I survive. I'm not shriveling away, like I'm better than before kind of a thing, because I didn't have that at that time in my life. And people thought I was crazy. Like, how could you be eating like this? Like, you're gonna
you don't love yourself.
And that never happened. It just kept getting better and better. And I realized that there's a process to this thing. When it came onto the business side, how I pay the bills, at that time I was practicing with a landscape architect in Montego Bay, and it was beautiful, my dream job, had the best time. But it wasn't, the two couldn't work together, and I chose my side hustle. And the gentleman, the architect I was working with at the time, he's like, wow, I'm seeing the changes. It's working for you. If this is what you're passionate about, it's best you pursue it. You're young. Like, that's what he did. So he's like, listen, if you can do it, do what you do with me on the side, great, but go after your passion. Like, that's priceless.
That's awesome. That's awesome. A lot of people wouldn't say that.
Exactly. We're still friends. He was at my wedding. So nice. Yeah, we're good. And it turned into a case where people would ask me, can you do this for me? Because I'm sharing my journey on Instagram. It's still there in the beginnings of my Instagram page. And I was like, I can do it for you, but I have to charge because I can't afford to, you know, support myself and be doing this thing for free. And that's how the business blossomed. And it's been the most fulfilling journey. It's because it's a spiritual thing. It's a physical thing. It's a genuine love, passion, and lifestyle. And as I grow, as I evolve, so does nature, my therapy. So does the business. And yeah, I love it. I love it. And so now I'm completely off of meat. eggs, dairy, and I don't eat processed food as much as other vegans may, for convenience purposes. I prefer to always say plant-based vegan, so more food from the earth in a more natural form. And it takes more time initially, but after you get in the flow of it, after you have your contacts, then it's pretty easy.
And prep is really what takes long, right? I mean, if we prep the night before, we have certain things set a certain way, you find that it's a 1-2. It's not as long.
Your oven is your best friend because you can roast, bake everything one time and you're good. So you put all your tubular vegetables, you put them in the oven, you rub it with cinnamon, you do whether you do sea salt, whatever you prefer, pumpkin, plantain, everybody, baked. And that forms the basis. Vegetables for the fruit, for the herbs, for the greens, for the peas, legumes that you will consume during the week. Really, really easy.
Yeah, you hear that, guys? Because a lot of people think it's very difficult. And I guess it can be difficult if you're not prepared. I mean, preparation is everything. So if you're prepared, it can be easy or easier. And you find that your body responds so well. And then the motivation that you get to have to do the prep is there because you're seeing the difference, you're feeling the difference. Everybody else is telling you the difference, you know.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah, and then it's like a win-win-win-win situation.
It's a lifestyle that keeps on giving. And I always tell persons when transitioning, and I'm not saying to the world, strictly go vegan, guys, because it's the best thing for you, but it's a very compassionate giving lifestyle, and you do it with compassion first towards yourself. So you don't just say, oh my gosh, I'm cutting everything out and I'm going to suffer. Our lifestyle should never be one of suffering. If we get to choose how we live our lives, suffering should never be a part of it if it's avoidable. So not that things won't be difficult. So you just take your time and you slowly reintroduce different kinds of foods into your diet. That's where a detox comes in as really, really helpful. Whether it is you're going on a juice cleanse, you're going on a water fast, you're doing a coconut water, you're doing whole foods. With each step that you take to clear your body out, to cut the habits, you start reintroducing the foods that you are choosing to have in your diet, not the foods that your parents, grandparents going on have introduced you to, that society bombards us with, you know, on the billboards, on the ads, but foods that you found work well with your body. So it's no your decision. And the parasites ain't telling you, I want bread, when you know the white bread is not what you should be having because they got opinions.
Yes. The white bread and the white pasta and the white everything and the hard over it. Oh, nice, but it's just so bad.
Man, and it encourages you to keep craving those things again and again. So it's hard to break that cycle.
Yeah, it's really an addiction. Like you really, you know, it's almost like being on crack or cocaine or, you know, sugar. All of these addictions, they're real. You know, and your body is going to crave for it and call out for it and need it, and you're gonna start feeling like your head hurting you and all these things because you're going through withdrawal.
And it's a serious thing. And many times we find while we're going through that withdrawal period, or you're having even detoxing, somebody said, this lifestyle is not working for me. I felt better when I was eating this way. Not really, but your body is literally breaking up because it has the assistance of these fruits, vegetables, of fiber. Break up the mucus, break up what's congested in that colon. Can we talk about constipation?
Whoa, yes, please.
Right. Some people say, I go to the bathroom once a day. I'm not constipated. On average, you're finding people are going to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a week, and they think that's normal. Like it's a thing. Many times people are going to the bathroom and they're saying, I go once a day, so I'm fine. Actually, no, you should be going every time you eat. You have some food, you eat something, you should be going like a goat, going to the bathroom. And that's something I didn't know. I thought it's normal. You just go a few times a week. You know, right now I'm busy. I don't have time. And I didn't know because no one taught me that, listen, this is a thing. And if you find yourself in that position, girl, you got to sort it out. You're constipated because you're not hydrated. In the fiber. Your colon is literally being tied up with mucus and waste, and it's making you sick. So when I went
go nowhere. They just sit down in you.
reabsorbing right back into the body, damaging your liver. Because when I went for my hydrocolon flush, which I tell everyone, especially my women, don't sleep on this. Get that flush, get it cleared out. A laxative is great, but it is not a real solution that's as long term. That helps you on a detox, that helps you in a spot. You're traveling, something's up, it's a good option, but you really need to get that nice flow, that nice, solution going through your intestines and clearing you out. And the nurse said to me, do you drink? Do you smoke? I said, no, and I haven't for years. Like occasionally a little wine here, a little whatever there. I was training at the time as well, so I didn't waste calories on alcohol. And she said, well, your liver is behaving like someone who drinks and smokes. And it turned out it was all those years of medication because I was really sick when I was a baby. So all that medication was tied up. It affected me. Everything was... Poor liver was overburdened. Unable to even absorb more than 40% of all the fruits, vegetables, herbs that I was consuming. So even though my life had improved, my quality of life had improved, I didn't optimize because I didn't clear out. So we have to clear out the old and welcome in the new. Be very intentional about that process.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I did a colonic, when did I do one? Probably a good, like about 4 years ago. First time ever did one. And I didn't know what to expect, but it was like right before Carnival. And I was like, listen, man, I'm just going to remove some of my belly right now, right? And I didn't have a pooping issue. You know what I mean? Like I go like after every meal, or if I don't go after every meal, I go at least 2 or 3 times a day. So I didn't really have a problem. Awesome. But I wanted to go do it. I went and she put the water up in there and did everything, and I'm lying on my back, and there was this like little thing that you can see, like the stuff coming out, so I'm like sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, but I'm not seeing nothing. What's happening? So I'm asking her, like, is it clogged? Like clog up her thing? Like what's going on? And she was like, no, like I'm not seeing metals in your body. I'm not seeing this, that, like everything really looks good. Like, what do you do? Or what do you eat or whatever? Yeah. And once I started to break down to her like what I do, what I realized was really what it is was not, the diet was huge, but what was huge too was the diatomaceous earth that I used to take all the time. Because diatomaceous earth is like a natural colonic.
And it cleans out.
And it cleans out and it cleans the walls and everything like that. So that's why I was so upset. I was like, I spent $70 and I didn't see the big poop like passing through the window. I was so annoyed.
That's a blessing though. Trust me, that's a blessing. To be clear, I mean, I can't stress it enough. And to be free of parasites as much as possible is not another thing that many people overlook, and it's so important.
And the pesticides are in our foods. It's on our plants. It's on our fruits. It's on our vegetables. We have to be aware of this.
Yeah. As a vegan, people say, oh, you shouldn't have to do a parasite cleanse. I tell them I do. Like, we still have to, if you have animals, you have to do your deworming, because if they have it and you cuddle and hug, and if you hear my dogs barking, pay no mind, you're going to pick up on these worms and they're going to go into your body, and there you go. It spreads around the family. So especially now when we're home, we can do the cleansing that we need, do our deworming of the cat, the dog, the whatever you have flying around. You need to clear everybody.
Do that self-love thing, taking care of self, getting down and getting down into that. So I want to talk a little bit more about the detoxing, and not just detoxing, but detoxing using cold press. And I want you to talk a little bit about the difference, because I don't think most people really have an understanding of cold pressed. And cold pressed can be with juices, cold pressed can be with the oils being cold pressed. It's really just the process. So can you tell them a little bit about your juicing and it being cold pressed and that kind of thing?
All right, so I'm just gonna hold this up right here. So this is a bottle of cold press beet. That's one of our juices. So why cold press and what is cold press? So it's a very slow process of grinding, crushing the fruits, the vegetables, or as you said, when you're creating a situation for the coconut to yield its oil, or any seeds where you crushed and grind, and then it's strained, and it comes out as a very pure, free of fiber for the most part liquid, and then you're able to, consume it, and your body's best able to absorb the nutrients when it's done in this way. Many people will say, okay, so what's the difference between me doing that in a cold pressed juice versus if I'm to just do it at home where I have a blender. Right. Or, I have one of these fast bullet things that do things really fast. Well, the difference is that a cold pressed juice will last longer nutritionally because it's free from a lot of the fibers that would break down. It's free from the heat that you have with the regular blender. When you use a regular juice or regular blender, it gets very warm. That doesn't happen with a cold press machine or with the cold press process. So you find it's a colder, less oxygenated process, and it lasts for a longer time. Typically, juices that are cold pressed will last for about 3 days. You don't really want to go over that. People keep it longer, but typically you want to say 3 days. And then there's nothing wrong with fiber. I love to say that to people right off the bat. There's nothing wrong with fiber. It's just that sometimes you want to give your body a break. If it is that you're having juices, you're having fibrous foods, you're getting your fiber in from your solid foods, and then you have your juices where your body's just absorbing all the nutrients, and you're finding that a large amount of platter full of vegetables, 3 pounds of vegetables, you put it through the cold press machine, and you're down to this much juice. Depending on if it's something with a lot of water, like a cucumber, zucchini versus, maybe leaves like the celery, and so you get a small amount. So where I couldn't eat all the vegetables that I wanted because it was just really difficult for me, when I put it through the juicer, bam, I had a whole platter in just like a nice quick swing. And I was able to have vegetables at the time when you're introducing or reintroducing, if you used to have vegetables, at a previous period, back into your diet that, oh man, this tastes funny. Like some persons, they say celery is really hard to eat, but they can manage to drink it in a quick shot. Arugula, some persons find it really hard to have unless it's on a pizza. It's one of my favorite greens, but in a juice, quick, it's down the hatchet. And your body just absorbs it because it doesn't have to break down through any fiber or so. So that's the benefit.
And you find too that, digestively, there is nothing to digest. It's liquid, so it just goes in. It's perfect. Now, how does the bowels change when we're doing juicing? And when I say that, because we know that we should be going to the bathroom after every meal, and let's say that we're juicing for 7 days or 21 days or something like that. Right. How does the bowel situation go? What should we look for? How often do you think we should be going to the bath doing the number 2?
All right. So off the bat, everybody's different. And when you're starting with a juicing regimen, you're starting from a different place. So if your body is already in an alkaline state, you're a regular visitor to the bathroom, your cycle is normal, then you can look to pretty much having that hydration process of the juices going through to allow you to go to the bathroom. However, if you're clogged, if it is that your system, even with all the liquids that you're having in the first 2 days, your system is already clogged, that's why we definitely have the laxative to kind of free up the plug so that things can start flowing through. When it is that the waste that's compacted, that's not going to necessarily move, but the main flow will clear, and you'll find that you'll start going to the bathroom more at first. We're getting that heavy waste moving through, and then less and less when it's more just liquids flowing through. So your stool will decrease because you've been flushing things out. For a beginner, we normally recommend you not do longer than a 3-day cleanse. You start with a 1 day.
Really?
You want to be on a vegan diet before, give yourself 3 days, vegan, plant-based, high-fiber diet. And then you have your smoothies, these things that you just put in your NutriBullet if you want. We provide juices, but I always encourage people, do it yourself, do it at home if you have to, if you don't have the time, if it is that you want someone to create the process for you, that's where we come in, but always be able to do it for yourself as well. And then you would move up. So you have your 3-day, then you go on a 3-day vegan diet after that, and then slowly start including solid foods. From the 2nd to the 3rd day, you want to start with your smoothies, your coconut water. You may have some, crushed up banana and so on. And then you taper it out and get back onto solids. If you want to go for as long as a week, which many people work themselves into a space mentally where they're able to do it, because a lot of this is mental. A lot of this is breaking habits.
It really is
mental. Then you're able to look at the amount of days you've been fasting on juices, and then you want to taper down the same amount of days before you get back on fully solid foods. And you definitely, while cleansing, definitely don't want to reintroduce overly spicy foods, any processed foods, any meat, any eggs, any dairy, because your stomach will go into a cramp. It's just like telling a baby, you're just starting to crawl and expecting them to run. Your body's gotten a break. You've cleared its schedule. It's given, the nice vacation it has needed to start sorting itself out. So you don't just pile on everything again. Your system will go into shock. But you can definitely expect to go more frequently while doing a juice cleanse, even if it's lighter amounts as your body clears out.
There is I've gotten a few juicing detox systems from you, and one of the things that I love in it is the detox tea. Okay. I think the detox tea is great. I think it's very, very, very important. I would recommend anybody that's on this live right now. I know that it comes with certain packages. I don't know if you sell it separately or anything like that.
We do. We sell it separately. We do have some at Co-work Jamaica for pickup. We may have to restock depending on what has happened since today. But definitely, with our detox package, we encourage persons to have the tea. Reason being, we had started saying, anybody who has their own laxative system, feel free to use it. And persons were saying, but they're not effective or they're really painful, a lot of discomfort. So we said, all right, I'm going to do, because I learned about how to prepare laxatives from my grandmother. She's 98 and she's got it sorted. So that's where I learned about that laxative process, because in her younger days, her grandmother, her mother, it was a thing that was expected at different periods in time. You have your wash out, you clean out, you clear out. And that's how they were able to overcome many challenges without a doctor being there in the community. Right. So the herbal laxative, the base of it is a senna pod or the senna leaves, depending. And then we build on that. For what different persons may need, we may customize.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, how long do you think that someone should be on the tea? Like, let's say, for example, I wanted to order a pack of tea. Would you say that I do that every night for a week, every other night? What would your recommendations be?
Okay, so we're very cautious about how we recommend teas, because you don't want your body to become too accustomed. So you take as needed. So if you're experiencing serious constipation where you've had extra strength, 2 tea bags on the first day and no movement, after giving yourself 2 days of the juicing and still nothing's going on, we give you another tea bag. That's an unusual situation, but you don't want to do it more than twice for 1 week, because the aim isn't to just free up your system. The aim is to just free up your system, but not to become dependent, because you have to remember, anything you're putting out, you have to be getting back in. You're going to be losing minerals. The salts are leaving your body. You're putting your body on that little bit of, to get it going. What you really want is to encourage high fiber diet within your system of how you eat, so that your body can naturally. So the cascara sagrada, the senna, all of this will assist with that process. But it's really to assist the body with becoming a little bit firm so that it can do this process on its own. But to have a tea once every night for a week, that would be too much. Would be excessive. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms, okay, so say for example, like me, like for the last year, right, I've been eating like crazy meat, and I never used to, right? After I had gone through my own reproductive issues and that kind of thing, I like really cut out meat a lot. Like I had it barely. And in this last year, from January to probably about 3 weeks ago, I have really been eating a lot of meat. So for my clients that eat meat versus for my clients that don't eat meat, how would you say the detoxing process should go? Like how long should that person detox if they're on meat or if they're a vegan? Because a lot of times vegans think that they don't need to detox because they're vegan. You know what I mean? But then you're eating, I mean, you could be eating carbs all day, every day. You know?
Yeah.
So what would you say in terms of that?
All right. So if you are in a situation where you're eating meat, you intend to continue eating meat, and you're doing a detox, you're setting an intention that I just want to give my body a periodic break, say once a week, in some person's cases, once a week for the next 4 months. I'm going to commit one day to do a juice cleanse. I'm going to prepare the day before on a whole food, plant-based, vegan diet, and then 2 days after, I'm also going to observe the same diet. That means no egg, no dairy, no meat for those 3 days, not including the 1 day detox. That would be what I would recommend for a start. So you would be disciplining yourself, getting your body into a rhythm of saying, we're going to abstain for these, call it 4 days. Or call it 3 days if that's all that you are initially able to do. Or call it even 2 days. You want to start where you are with what you have. And if disciplining your mind is giving your body a break, and then you're slowly working your way in, because your intention is to give your body a break from these things.
Right.
To be able to process the years of food, the years of junk, the years of hard to digest materials, the flesh of other animals and so on, that you want to break out of that habit. And you start right where you are. If you are then able to up your fruit and vegetable intake on the days that you are not detoxing, you're saying, okay, whether you detox on a weekend or in the week on the other days, how do I increase my fruit and vegetable intake? What are the combinations like? How can I experiment with food to make it even more interesting? How can I incorporate it in the lives of the people I have to live with, I choose to live with, I am around? And I say have to live with because many times we don't have supportive people at home. So you feel like you're going it alone. You know what I'm saying? And there are people who will, join in as they see you being serious about what you're doing. So you assess that as well, and you protect your space. So you have to know why you're doing it. Have your intention set firmly on your why, so when it gets difficult,
you can go back to that. Mm-hmm.
You go back to why. If it is a case where you've already taken that step, or you're like transitioning and you're saying, all right, I've cut down my whatever animal food intake by a certain percentage. I'm now consuming more fruits, more vegetables. I'm seeing the difference in my body. I want to take it a step further. I want to maybe allow myself a 3-day detox once a month. So you're doing a 3-day prep, 3-day detox, and then 3 to 4 days of going back onto food. So you've extended the amount of days and condensed it all at once. So that's another mental process. You work yourself into that. And again, you congratulate yourself anywhere that you are. And you, again, try to up your fruit and vegetable intake as you're going on. And then from you reach the 3-day, and it's something that you've done over a period of 4 months, you find that it's easier for you to make the best decision at that point, whether it is you want to cut meat out, you want to cut down by a certain percentage, and you would have practiced in the preparation of the food, you would have practiced in how you set out your pantry and your fridge, you would have practiced where it is that you need to eat, formed a community. I always tell people community is everything.
That's true.
Talking so much. Community,
we love it.
And you have to form that community around yourself, because if it was there, you would have been under that influence already. And then from there, you decide what direction you would prefer to go into. And the best thing about it is to really enjoy it. Find whatever it is about the lifestyle that you enjoy. Become informed. Play with recipes. Find the foods that you traditionally would like. So for me, you look at meat substitutes, lentil burgers, lasagna with the different peas, creating bean burgers. You find ways, whether it is eating out or eating in, which is what you'll find yourself doing quite a bit, to, replace your favorite foods with very healthy, plant-based options.
Yeah,
so
for sure. I want everyone to know that, okay, so Danielle has many different types of juices, okay? And I actually tried the Energizer. Was it the Energizer that you sent to me as a gift?
Yeah.
That was actually the first time I tried that one.
Really?
Is that new?
It's not new, but it's one of those very zesty, energy boosting juices with the base being citrus. So many times persons will say, I want to rejuvenate, or like, that's the more popular green, but the energizer is definitely doing its thing.
Yeah, I need a dozen. I want a dozen. So I'm going to place an order tomorrow or tonight because it was really good. It was really, really good. And I felt the difference. I felt that I had a little bit more energy that day, to be honest with you.
It's really, really good. No,
go ahead. You have a...
No, I was saying I have a friend who she dances Nico, and she always says, I need the energizer because at the end of having it, I'm able to go to dancing, go to CrossFit, do everything. I have another customer who he runs the hill and he's like, I need that juice. That one right there, I feel the energy. So at that point, I'm like, okay, a special label for you, and you're going on the market. So...
Yes, it's really good. It's really good. I hope everybody, I know that we've already put down where they can find you and all of that kind of things, which you can go through right before we end off. But in terms of all your juices, what, as of right now that you have, what is your favorite one?
Oh my God. That's harsh. It depends on the day. Okay, let me think.
All right, give me two.
I love the glow. For sure. I love my beets. I just really love the beets. And I would have to include our newest drink. It's a vegan protein called the Mineralizer. So the base is Irish moss and bladderwrack. And I love it. I mean, you know about the hormone balancing and just mineralizing the body. That's what this juice is for, and it breaks up the mucus in the body. It helps to get rid of all of that. So that's
and it's good for joints too, because I mean Irish moss is good for joints. It's good for immune system. It's good for
It's an all.
I want to try that.
It's really I want to try that one. And what I love about juicing, I love about creating vegan blends without sugar, because none of our products have sugar, water, any sweeteners of any kind. Everything's just organic, raw, is actually being a statement maker to say, listen, really healthy juices, really healthy vegan sugar-free food can be good for you and delicious at the same time. So it's busting out that myth that healthy has to be and that's something that I found on my journey. I found it really hard to find healthy foods that didn't have certain additives, and I'm like, I just want pure juice. I just want high quality, just want vegan. I don't want anything added. Like, nature has done all the work. Let her shine.
Right. So I agree.
That's the basis. That's the basis. It's like with your herbs, your steaming herbs. You hold the packet up to your nose and you're like, this is a real deal. There's no steaming powder or nothing. It's the real deal.
How was that actually? Have you steamed yet?
Oh yeah, girl. Oh yeah, I'm happy. The package came just like 7 days before. About a week before today. So I'm like, let me not even hitch. Let me just get it done. So I have it to do at the end of my period. I'm going to give it 5 days from the end.
Okay.
And then again. It's
okay.
People who don't steam, okay, ladies and gentlemen, who want to get something for your women, get her the herbs. Ramona got the hookup. Like, it's a real thing. And it's funny. There are certain places in the world where it's like traditional that every woman steams, like not just after childbirth or so, but it's just a practice that we just care for vagina wombs in this way. And I'm really happy that you brought this to Jamaica in the way that you have, for it to become more and more a part of women's lives, because saving wombs is a serious thing.
No, it is. And you know, the funny thing when you say that, a lot of women don't really understand how important steaming is, you know, and then some might understand that, yes, this could be good for me, but then they're using vinegar to steam and all kind of madness, you know. Yes.
Vinegar.
So, you know, it's drying out their vagina, and I mean, and they're not even using they're using like white vinegar, you know what I mean, like distilled vinegar, like it's not even like the better one, you know. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm definitely really glad that you enjoyed your steam. It's definitely something that all women definitely need to do at least once a month. And, you know, try steaming and having sex after. It's amazing. It's amazing.
You see, that's why I love that we can have this chat, because it's like, I can just be real with you. Like, it's like the juice, the whole experience. It's like you gave yourself a goddess treatment, and then you just deserve to be worshipped. It's amazing. Like, ladies, do yourself the favor. Tell me after. It's awesome.
Oh God, it's so funny. So if you had, I have another question for you. If you had only, if someone said, okay, there are only two fruits, or a fruit and a vegetable that you have to eat every day. I don't care how you eat it, if you juice it, if you cut it up, if you sprinkle pepper on it, what would that be?
Whoa, that's so hard. Okay,
I know.
Because I've thought about this. I've done boats where you just go on a fruit island, where that's all you have for the entire day. And the most diverse, if I'm to cheat, it would be the banana. Not because banana is my favorite fruit, but because banana, you kind of cheat because there are different types, and you can have it green, you can have it turned, you can have it ripe and overripe. Okay. So I feel like I get the most mileage from the banana. Out of it, yeah, because it's like a fruit and a herb in one. So I think I would go with that. And then I love arugula as a green. I don't know if I could survive forever, even though it's my favorite. I would probably, I can't do without arugula. So I guess it would be bananas and arugula.
And arugula too. Interesting. So tell everybody really where they can find you, like everything, everywhere. Social media platforms, if there's email, phone number, tell everybody everything. We will definitely be posting it anyway, but you can definitely give us the rundown.
All right, guys. So if you want to come and check out Nature My Therapy, or juices or popsicles, head on over to www.naturemytherapy.com. That's our website. And from the website, you have direct access to myself, direct access to the team. You just send us an email, put through your order, and we deliver. We can also be found on social media at Nature My Therapy. And you get to check out our day-to-day or happenings, what customers are saying. If you want to directly, interact with me on my page at Danielle Thompson, NMT. The spelling will be below because there's an extra E on the end. And that's how you find us, naturemytherapy@gmail.com. And that information is also on our link tree at Nature My Therapy on Instagram and on the website. So any one of those channels is a great way to connect. And I love to get questions, love to share. And it's just great. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, I love it. I totally love it. We will definitely be doing stuff in the future, right?
Definitely.
So everybody can look out for that. I think it's important for women in themselves to come together, especially when there's a common ground, I guess you could say.
Definitely.
And especially on this health tip, on this, and I don't want to say just health, but lifestyle, changing the lifestyle so that it can be a healthier one is important. And sometimes it's really hard to do it by yourself, and feel like you don't have a guidance. So I'm really happy that you're doing this. I mean, I would say there are probably one and two other people, in Jamaica that are doing this type of thing. But I feel like you're giving us more. You're not just giving, like, for me personally, you're not just giving me juices, and I look at your body and I'm like, I need that body. I'm starting Pilates. Where do I go? I need to go. I'm getting it done. I'm working it out.
We're going to do it.
So I'm going to pick your brain about that, because I need to get on that.
Yeah, no, I'm always happy, Ramona. I'm so pleased that this is such a blessing that we can link up, have this discussion. I mean, just engage with everyone and share, because many times people think you go on a vegan diet, you're going to get You're going to lose all your gains for people who are in the gym. You're going to lose your curves. You're going to be so bored. You're going to have no energy at all. And it's quite the opposite. Like, that's why I showcase myself. My husband's always like, you're always hanging your ass out of everything. I'm like, yeah, because it didn't disappear. Everyone said it would disappear, and here I am. So
look at my butt. It's fabulous.
It's there now. Well, work in progress. But yeah, and I'm really happy that persons are even interested to find out. And I always tell people, give yourself 1 day a week on a vegan plant-based diet, just 1 day, and really put everything into that day and understand it's not just good for our bodies, it's good for the planet. I'm vegan for the animals as well. I'll be forced to say it, but it's a holistic lifestyle of consuming life. And once you're taking life into your body, that's what you're going to exude. That's what you're going to feel. My mood changed. Everything changed for the better on this lifestyle. So, and you never know until you try. You can take my word for it, but knowing and experiencing it is good. And climate change is important, guys. And we can, on another platform, engage in how, as women, we heal the earth with our diet and our practices. We're the care. So we have to set that example as much as possible.
I think that's really important. That's definitely we have to bring that awareness, because that's not something that women even think about. They don't think about that at all.
And before I go, I have to give you a major big up because you have facilitated a space of healing for women, and it's generational healing. So where I don't yet have children, my daughters won't come into a space where this information isn't available. My womb isn't cleansed. And I'm talking on behalf of women who have worked with you and they've been able to conceive, they've been able to heal their wombs. That's healing generations past, and that's healing generations to come. So, like, major respect. Major respect.
Thank you.
Powerful.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in, because you know how Instagram goes and they will just lock us off and lock us down. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, please send Danielle a DM or email or anything like that. I know that she'll be more than happy to help you on this journey that you will be starting. And I will be calling you tomorrow for some products, because I need to get on that Energizer and that Irish Moss / whatever.
And I want my family reaction.
Yes, I will have it tomorrow. I'll have it tomorrow. So I can send it to you tomorrow.
Because the stress of these times, it's really good to have a hormone balancing tea. It's excellent.
It is. It definitely is. Well, my love, thank you so much for tuning in. I so much appreciate it. And you will hear from me tomorrow morning.
Same here. Thanks for watching and sharing, everyone. Oh, and I just saw somebody saying they had senna and it makes them vomit. Some persons do have an allergy to senna. You can probably try using the leaves the pods instead of the leaves, because it's a little bit more mild. Not do it as strong. Have more cascara sagrada in the mix than you would have senna, and put mint in there, like spear mint, to assist your body, because sometimes just adding of a herb like mint will help you with the nausea and the vomiting.
Yeah.
So
love it. Thank you so much, Danielle. Stay safe out there.
Definitely. Cheers,
all
guys.
Right, got it. Love and light to everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. You guys, please tune in tomorrow. We will be having our male chat. And you know how that goes. It was great last week. We're hoping that it will even be better this week. We will be talking about foreplay and masturbation, which we started to talk about last week, but there's so much to talk about when it comes to that